Yeah, and I've hired a lot of coaches, and I've learned through trial and error that good branding does not always mean that the program is going to match the branding. So when I'm hiring a coach, what I'm looking for is how many people like me have they helped get the results that I want. So how many people that are similar to me and want a similar result has this person successfully been able to help? That's my marker for success. So followers aside, whatever,
but
innovative
nobody's
advice
saying
aside,
that every dating coach I've ever seen has I've helped thousands, here's my body count.
I haven't helped thousands.
Here's my success rate, and here's all of my testimonies on my site, right? It's always kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah. What else are you going to go by? If you're wanting to hire a plastic surgeon, you're going to go by the before and afters. If you want to hire a fitness coach, you're going to go by the before and afters. If you're going to hire a dating coach, you're looking for how many men has she actually helped?
But those things
how many
are so
men
easy to
went from dating women that they were feeling like they were settling for to women that actually blew their mind? How many men went from chasing one girl?
That's why you put people to the question to ask them what sets you apart, right? Because then it's not, my testimonies say that I'm set apart because I'm super skilled, because that's easily fudged, right? Instead, usually they'd be like, these are the criteria that really, the reason you should use me is because this reason more than anything, and it's really the thing that puts me over the top, right? So for me, Andrew, what sets you apart from almost all of the debaters is because I have some of the most powerful rhetoric inside of the debate sphere. That's what really sets me apart.
Yeah, I answered that question. I'm happy to answer it again. What sets me apart is that I have found a way to quantify attraction. I have found a way to universalize female attraction so that a man, when he goes on 3 dates with a chick and then she suddenly blows him off, he's not wondering, what did I do wrong? He actually has tangible feedback that he can look at and say, okay, this is probably why I keep getting blown off by women that I'm into. That's what sets me apart. I'm quantifying it. That way there's no mystery.
Okay. I
it's just like step one, step two, step three.
That's what you think sets you apart. It just sounds like exactly what most of the dating coaches say. They give you real-time feedback and what it is that you're doing wrong. They're going to be there to support you with that feedback. It just
and they
sounds
quantify
like exactly
it.
The same thing.
They're able to tell you that you're a 27.5 out of 50 in the eyes of women that you want to attract, and here's what you need to do in order to become a 40.
Well, I think they use maybe different scales, but they come up with
we're all rebranding. What do you guys? What sets this podcast apart from other podcasts? It's the nuances. It's the branding. We're all doing the same. We're all selling the same shit. We're rebranding it, and some of us are better than others.
I'll answer your question.
Okay, go for it.
What sets this podcast apart from other podcasts is me. And I am so fucking awesome and such a force of nature that every other podcast on planet Earth would love to have me come on and co-host. I promise you. And I just don't. I just hang my hat. That's what sets it apart, right? Is that me?
Now look who's being delusional.
I set it apart. A personality of one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But in my opinion...
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah.
I'm not upset, by the way. I think what you're asking are fair questions, because I think that for the men watching, if in their mind they are skeptical, that is totally fair. And if they want a reasonable explanation, I am giving you my version of that, which is that I have found a very big problem that exists in society, and I have been able to successfully solve it for enough people that makes me feel confident to continue doing it. That's pretty much it.
Well, I don't know enough about
80% of businesses, 80% of businesses
I
fail in the first 5 years, and I've stayed afloat and I continue to grow. And I think the reason why I continue to grow is...
I don't know enough about your personal business, like your actual business, to make a good, compelling argument.
You can look at the number. You can look at my following. You can look at my...
Tons of these guys have huge followings, right? But
I understand
but
that's a marker of success. That's a marker of success.
Listen. Relax. I don't know enough about your actual business to make the assertion one way or the other. All I can do is ask the questions, right? And say, hey, it doesn't seem to me like there's any kind of light bulb moment here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this. How would you define success? Is it my revenue? Is it the amount of men I've helped? Is it my IG following? What is your definition of success?
My definition of success, or my definition of a dating coach's success?
Dating coach's success.
Yeah, so I mean,
like, what would you have to see for you to be like, cool, that's different, or that's better, or superior, or whatever?
Yeah, so what I would do if I was a dating coach, if I was going to set myself apart, is I would have not just a program, because all of them seem to have a program, but I would be able to map out some type of roadmap that nobody else has, an actual roadmap, and say, there's this thing, this ding, this light bulb that then goes off when people hear it. Same thing with rhetoric. If you can form rhetoric in such a way where you can break it down to the point where people can understand it very quickly, right? That would be something that would be very successful for a debater, for instance.
Okay. So a roadmap. In other words, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, right?
Yeah, but I would still need something
I can give you that
made that light bulb go off. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I can't guarantee that your light bulb is going to go off, because I don't know what your description of what a light bulb going off moment looks like is a little vague. But I can give you a roadmap. So to me, a man's journey, a man who is lonely and falls within that stat that we talked about before we hit live, which is that 60% of men between the ages of 18 and 30 have not had sex in the last year. And it's not by choice. If we were just to go by that problem that currently exists in society, here's a roadmap that I would give someone who falls in that category. You've got to master the ABCs and the DEFs of dating. So the ABCs are approach, build, desire, and convert. So you got to actually put yourself out there and meet women. You've got to build desire in your interactions with them. And then you've actually got to convert that into a date. Because a lot of men can get phone numbers, but then they don't get a text back. Or they can get her IG, but then she blocks them. So can you actually predictably convert the woman that you approach? That's first phase of the process. The second phase of the process is DEF. So can you deepen that connection over time? Evolve it in whatever direction you want it to go, whether it's one night or you want to marry her. And then lastly, follow through from her. Can you get follow through from her? ABC, DEF. Some men struggle with the first part. They just have a really hard time walking up to a woman and approaching her and having a conversation that builds enough sexual tension that she actually wants to show up to a date with them. And some men are pretty good at that, but they can't for the life of them figure out why they keep getting blown off after that 6-week mark. Wherever you are on that spectrum, some men struggle with both. I give you step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, so that you can go from